Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know that I believe the Federal Reserve has broken the housing market. The housing market broke 2 years ago when the Fed took rates really low. They kept rates too low for too long. We've now set up a market today where transactions are crashing, where first-time homeowners really don't have a great chance. Why don't they have a great chance? First off, prices have gone up 30, 40% in 2 years. Given the raise in interest rates, affordability is near all-time lows, if not at all-time lows in your specific area or buy box. We also have a whole collection of buyers who now are going to stay put because they have interest rate lock-in. I think we are seeing a time where we have record demand destruction. Rates doubled from 3 to 6. But we also have record supply destructions. People are not incented to move. Is an extra bedroom really worth doubling your mortgage payment? For most people, the answer is no. So we are seeing a time where first-time homeowners are in real trouble. I believe if the market was left to its own devices, the market would be very slow for years to come. I believe the housing market is entering a depression. I believe the housing market depression will take the economy, the national economy, into a recession. But I'm already concerned, but there is one bigger concern I have. Again, remember the environment that I see. I see an environment where the supply of first-time homebuyer homes is really scarce. It's almost like a unicorn holding a four-leaf clover standing on a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? Because people bought them over the last 2 years, maybe investors, maybe Wall Street, maybe homeowners, but now they're not selling. We all know that builders aren't building, right? Builders aren't building first-time home. It's not profitable. They build the bigger stuff. So the first-time home buyers are in trouble. But one of the concerns I have is that the government, state and federal, might look at the slowing housing market, look at the affordability, and go, hey, I want to help. I think if the government comes in and tries to help first-time homebuyers with some kind of down payment assistance or some kind of program, it could actually do more damage than good. Undoubtedly, it will help some people buy their first home, which is good, which is admirable. But I think what it does is it doubles, triples, quadruples demand in an environment where supply is negligible, which will unfortunately only make housing more expensive. I think the natural housing market is first-time homebuyer, move up, luxury. That entire food chain or flow is broken. If you take these first-time homebuyer programs and then you add that to a broken market, it could get really wacky. So I'm going to pull up an article I read where there are now states and cities offering up to $200,000. Yes, folks, $200,000 in down payment assistance. Again, this feels like a great thing. Who wouldn't want to see a first-time homebuyer get a home? It's a good feeling. It should be a good thing. But my fear is if you do this en masse in an environment where there is low supply, there are some pretty drastic unintended consequences. So let's bring up the article and see who's doing what. So this again comes from CNBC. This was CNBC Make It, who summarized all of this information. But you can see in DC, the District of Columbia, there is now a program that's been up to $200,000. We will look through others. The article highlights many others. So again, this was for the District of Columbia, $202,000 announced a near doubling of subsidy for down payment assistance, up from $80,000 to $202,000. The DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, forgive me if I probably butchered that, my mistake. So again, they have created a home purchase assistant program, HPA, AP, for families to get interest-free loans based on household income, and potentially up to $4,000 in closing cost credits. Again, it talks about the problem: rising home prices, mortgage costs. It's make it very difficult for first-time home buyers. 20% down payments actually increased 50% last year. There's just a big problem. So we have others that are doing things. We have the Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has boosted Smart Buy program for low and moderate income earners with student debt. Interesting. Either pays 15% of the home purchase price or $50,000 in student debt. That's interesting. So we'll either give you up to 15% or pay off 50% of your debt, whichever is lower, to help cover down payment and closing costs. The Smart Buy program also offers zero interest loan option worth up to 6% of mortgage costs. Interesting. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont announced a homebuyer program, Time to Own, which offers 10-year interest-free loans worth up to $50,000 in select area. Eligibility is based off income and ability to pay mortgage. You must have been a resident in Connecticut for the last 3 years. Florida, Hometown Heroes program offering zero interest loans worth $25,000 for frontline community workers in more than 100 eligible professions, including child care employees, law enforcement, educators, healthcare. Eligibility, again, is based off income and other factors. Again, these are mortgage states. I know California has a down payment assistance program as well. I think they take part ownership in the property, but if you stay there 5 years, it's forgiven, something like that. So again, what I'm calling out here is, I'm not calling out these programs as bad by any means. All of these programs, well-intentioned. I hope they help thousands of people. My concern is these small focus programs become a national or federal program. It is one thing to help people in your city or your area, but to see a national program rolled out that would try to be all things to all people could create a problem. I don't know if you're aware, but one thing, I think it was President Obama, I could be wrong, but I think in the great real estate recession, there was a moment in time where there was an $8,000 credit if you bought a home, as I recall. I could be wrong. It's been over a decade. But what happened in that environment is it did stop the housing fall down. This probably was in 2009 or 10. But it was an artificial thing. And I guess that's my concern. Is I don't mind cities or even states having these homebuyer programs. My concern is the federal government tries to come in and do something at a much bigger level. One sec. Still getting over a cold. So again, this is something I fear next year. I think the housing market, I'm definitely a free market guy. The housing market's unaffordable. The Fed broke housing. Even if the government did nothing, we need years to clean up the mess we're in. If we announce federal-based programs that is aimed at the most broken part of the housing market, it could really drive unaffordability down, right? If you saw my talk about California yesterday, and my market of Fresno was a 31. If they come in with a program for Fresno, that could drive affordability, because again, it will all be on first-time home buyer, all be on the low end. It'll jack up the low end prices and probably drive affordability down more and more. We don't need that. Housing is already unaffordable. So let me know what you think. Again, if you're in the market for a home, I would definitely check out these programs. They're there for a reason. If they're in your market, go get it. If you're a mortgage broker, real estate agent, go learn about it. You might as well help as many people as you can. My concern is the federal government comes in and tries to do something for everyone, which probably makes housing less affordable, which is not what we need today. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.